I just had a fabulous listener email me and she said, Sarah, does Nutrafol work for men too? You better believe it. Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement for men and women, with over 1 million people seeing thicker, stronger, faster growing hair with less shedding. Hello, me included. Nutrafol changed my life post-baby and postpartum hair. Amazing. Also, a lot of women going through menopause say that Nutrafol works for them as well. And like I mentioned, it works for the fellas. Take the first step right now to visibly thicker, healthier hair for a limited time. Nutrafol is offering my TSFS listeners $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com and you enter the promo code TSFS. Find out why over 4,500 healthcare professionals and hair care stylists recommend Nutrafol for healthier hair. Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com, promo code TSFS. That's Nutrafol.com, promo code TSFS. Woohoo! Every day I am getting one step closer to having another healthy baby, and Caraway Home is helping me do that. Their ceramic, naturally slick surface cookware allows you to cook with minimal butter. They're very easy to clean, just a little warm water, you wipe it down. And the best part is that Caraway products are made without any toxic materials like BFASs, BTFEs, and a bunch of other things like I can't even pronounce. So you don't have to worry about that. Right now, visit carawayhome.com/TSFS to take advantage of this limited time offer for 10% off your next purchase. This deal is exclusive to my Sarah Fraser Show listeners. So visit carawayhome.com/TSFS or use code TSFS at checkout. Caraway, non-toxic cookware made modern. It's time for you to see what all the fuss is about, read about their 5-star reviews, and why so many TSFS fans buy Caraway Home. Order now.
This episode is brought to you by Paramount Plus. Get in, loser! Mean Girls is now streaming on Paramount Plus. Join Katie Heron as she meets the plastics in Tina Fey's new twist on the modern classic. Get ready for more of the rumors, backstabbing, and jokes you loved from the original movie with some fetch surprises. Rated PG-13. Wear pink and head to ParamountPlus.com to try it free.
Is here. Stef Freeman is an inflammation specialist, and not to mention a fan of the Sarah Fraser Show. And I have to say, I love this woman because I would say for 2 years, I mean, girl, you are a religious listener and faithful. You are in my DMs, and I appreciate your support so much. You weigh in, and this woman has been writing to me about health and mindful eating for 2 years. And I'm like, I think 2 years ago I said to her, oh, you're coming on my show. You're coming on my show. And then 2 years later, here she is. Sorry, it's a long wait list here, Steph.
I'm patient.
You are. I'm honored. So thank you for being such a great supporter. And I can't wait to learn what you do.
Thanks for having me. This is like, I listen to you every day and everything, even shows that I don't watch. You're just so entertaining. And yesterday you was Schman talking about Patrick Ewing. I'm a basketball fan. So I'm like, oh, that's not... I knew you meant Patrick Duffy. I knew it, but you make me laugh. And I love it. I love seeing your family. You're so authentic. You share your struggles. And I think that's what this world needs more of, is just no BS. Just be who you are.
I know. Be who you are, right? And, I know. And I wish I didn't have any struggles, but for some reason, we all do. That's life, right? So I'm like, screw it. I'm just going to put it all out there, And hopefully it resonates with someone.
Right. And your struggles help other people. And as we get into my story, I'll explain to you why I'm not woe is me and, struggle, because I was given a gift so that I can help other people.
All right. Tell us about that gift. What is that gift? And then we're going to you are an inflammation specialist, and you go by,
Yes.
I wanted to bring up your Instagram because you're the whisperer. Wait, what do you call it?
I am at the Wellness Whisperer, Stef, Stef, as my husband calls me, Steffi with an F-E. So I've had juvenile rheumatoid arthritis since I was 3 years old. I just turned 58 last week. I had symptoms at 3. I remember being at Thanksgiving dinner and we drove to Massachusetts. I'm originally from Connecticut. And my mom and dad were like, come on, get out of the car. And I couldn't move. And so the doctor said I had water on my hip and then on my knee, and they drained it. And at 11, I was diagnosed, which was 1977. So there were no meds. There was really nothing. I missed 45 days of school in 7th grade. I didn't really learn how to ride a bike. I was sick. And it wasn't until I turned 47. So sick as a kid, got married, trouble getting pregnant, had to go on Clomid,
Wow.
had my kids, mono, surgery on my wrist, surgery on my feet, just chronic pain. I was exhausted. But I just pushed through. And then when I turned 46, I had gotten divorced. I moved to Virginia Beach, and I saw something on Facebook. An old friend talked about cold laser treatments for your knees. And my knees are really where most of my pain is. I walked in, I said, here's the deal. I've had JRA. I just need these and I'll be good. And he said, I've got the white coat on. I'll tell you what you need. So he ran a panel of blood work. And I'll never forget, April 30th, 2013, I went in to get the results, and he said, your CRP level is very high. And I was like, my what?
Yeah, what's that?
He said, cardiac reactive protein. It's the inflammation level in your body. So it was 3.77, and he wanted it under 1.0. So I said, what does that mean? And he said, oh, I don't know, cancer, diabetes, heart disease. Should I go on? And I was like, nope.
Okay.
So he handed me a pamphlet. It said anti-inflammatory diet. He gave me some magnesium and vitamin D. And that night, my husband and I went to go see Bob Seger. And we get out of the concert and he's like, my neck hurts. Our seats were bad. Oh my God, he doesn't sound like he did. And I looked at him and I went, huh? And he said, what's the matter with you? I said, oh, I don't know. All that ruminated in my head was, you're 47, you can't die. So I got up the next morning, no grocery list. I had read this whole pamphlet. I had looked into Dr. Mark Hyman, Dr. Andrew Weil, who is, the anti-inflammatory guy.
And by the way, one of the founders of True Food Kitchen, which have you gone to a True Food Kitchen? Very good food.
In Boca? Yeah. Oh, so good.
So good. Love his restaurant chain. Yep.
So you'll know this grocery store, I think, because you're from Northern Virginia, but do you have Harris Teeter?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. So I got up on May 1st, 2013, drove to Harris Teeter, and I walked in the store with no agenda. I walked up and down every aisle and said goodbye to every food I'd never eat. Starburst jelly beans, Doritos, Pop-Tarts, cereal. Like, I was always on a roller coaster diet, like keto, like I never really did keto, but like Atkins, South Beach, like whatever. But Sunday night, I would get jelly beans, hot fry, like you name it. I would just gorge myself, and then diet started Monday, right?
Always. Yes. I'm with you. You know my story. You know, I started my very, I rang in at Weight Watchers at 12 years old, I mean, that's what it started. I know. I say to my mom, why did you take me to a Weight Watchers meeting at 12? And she's like, oh, you wanted to go. I wanted to support you. We have a great relationship, but I'm like, Mom, what were you thinking? But anyway, that kicked off, 17 years of gaining and losing 150 pounds and yo-yo diet and eating shit food. Same thing. I pig out and drink tons of alcohol all weekend long and feel like shit. And Monday I thought, I'm going to start. And then by Thursday, I'd go out and I'd start drinking again and I'd have a piece of pizza. And I thought, well, I've blown it. Here we go. And so I know.
Same.
Yes. Total binge eater.
Same. Mm-hmm. So I literally said goodbye to these foods, and I have never eaten them again. Since that day, I've had no gluten, no refined sugar, no dairy. Well, I'll talk about what I do eat for dairy. I just introduced a little bit, and no soy, because soy is an estrogen mimicker. So, and also has gluten in it. So 6 months of just not counting calories, not on a diet, eating healthy foods. I lost 40 pounds and I brought my inflammation level down not only to 1.0, but to 0.1.
Wow. Oh my God.
My pain went away and I felt amazing. And so I started screaming I wanted to scream from the rooftops. And we were in a restaurant and there was a girl there and she was crying to her parents. She's like, I don't feel good. I have migraines. Like, I don't think I can go back to school. And you could tell they were like, you're going to school. So my husband looked at me. He was like, okay. And I said, I'm sorry. I don't mean to butt in, but I know where you are. And I have a doctor that may help you. And I gave her my naturopathic doctor's name. She stood up and cried and hugged me. So then we get in the car. My husband, who's a lot like your husband, from what I hear, he goes, I love you and I love your passion. Do you think you could stop giving that away for free? And I was like,
I've just been talking to my girlfriends about stop giving it away for free. Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So it took me 2 years. I was at something at the convention center. I think it was a home show, and there was a woman selling aloe lotion, and she said, oh, this is my side gig. I'm a certified holistic health coach. And I went to school. I went to Syracuse. So I love our girl, Andrea Lopez.
Oh, so do I. An amazing human being.
Yeah, I was a sports journalism major. So I didn't know from this world. And I said, where? And she said, the Institute for Integrative Nutrition. I went home. I got home at midnight. I watched a webinar at 8 a.m. Saturday morning. I signed up in 2015. So that's how I became a certified holistic health coach.
Wow. Oh my God, this completely changed your life. You reinvented your career in your mid 40s. And now you told me what I thought was so great. And you and I have obviously bonded over mindful eating and how diets don't work. And now there's a whole Ozempic trend, which I could rant about, but we'll get to that later. But you said that this is why I wanted to have you on, because I know in my own life women that are dealing with chronic pain that they've gone for blood tests. Nobody can diagnose. And to me, the correlation is absolutely food. It's got to be something you're eating, you're drinking, toxins you're consuming in your home, something, because you should not feel pain, right?
No. Or be tired, and you should be able to move. And, I have a 5-year-old granddaughter, almost 5. And like, I'm on the floor with her. I'm here, I'm there. And like, I want to live this life. Like, I don't want it to be dependent on anybody or anything. We just built a house with a master on the 2nd level. Everybody's like, why didn't you do it on the main level? I'm like, because I'm going to be able to walk up those stairs. I'm not giving in to this disease. So since I was diagnosed with juvenile rheumatoid arthritis, I've since been diagnosed with celiac, psoriatic arthritis, and Hashimoto's. I control it all through diet and personal care products.
All right. Talk to me about what are the food. Can you give us 3 foods that cause the most inflammation in the body? Yes.
Gluten. I'll give you ingredients first. So gluten, refined sugar, and dairy. And I will die on this hill about gluten. So, and it's not necessarily the gluten, but it's what we talked about before. It's the herbicides and the pesticides. It's the glyphosate. It's all the stuff on it. So in the United States, all gluten, bread, pasta, cakes, cookies, all genetically modified. So when we eat something with gluten and it goes into our small intestine, gluten is a protein. And we have an enzyme called protease, which breaks down protein, eggs, beef, like any kind of protein. Well, it breaks down the protein part of gluten, but the genetically modified part, it can't break down. So it leaks out of our small intestine into our bloodstream. And that's what elevates our inflammation, our CRP, all of that stuff. So gluten is number 1. Most people cannot tolerate dairy. A lot of people are lactose intolerant. I like people, right?
It's unreal. I never used to be, but I would say just in my 30s, it probably started. And now, oh my God. I mean, if I have ice cream, I will literally wake up in the middle of the night with stomach cramps, full on stomach cramps, have to run to the bathroom and poop. It's like, it's terrible. I'm like, Sarah, you cannot. And I can't eat ice cream. I mean, a little, I can have like a spoonful, right, 2 spoonfuls, and that's it. But if I have an ice cream cone, oh my God, the pain in my stomach is unbelievable.
So what I tell my patients is, let's go off dairy for 6 weeks. But there's a caveat. Most people can tolerate Parmesan cheese, goat cheese, feta cheese. I drink lactose-free organic half and half in my coffee in the morning, and I can tolerate that. The thing with dairy that you have to think about is that you're eating what the cow ate. So if you're getting the first of all, shredded cheese, American cheese is not real cheese. But if you want to eat like cheddar or anything like,
Is shredded cheese and American cheese isn't real cheese? What is it?
it's got preservatives, it's got all kinds of stuff in it, all kinds of additives.
I call him the Nozempic been on Ozempic doctor. I'm talking about Dr. Applin and his wife who founded My Optimal Body. I am so happy about this. These are the first mindful eating based doctors I have ever partnered with. They see patients nationwide and they are seeing more patients who have been on Ozempic and Ozempic has failed for them. What makes My Optimal Body so unique and why am I endorsing them? It's because Dr. Applin actually looks at food additives, your addiction to food, your mental health. They do a whole look at you, including your gut health. Many of Dr. Applin's patients are working out, restricting their diets, and still gaining weight. Why is that? Because something's going on in your body and with your mind. Visit myoptimalbody.com to request an appointment. Be sure to tell them the Sarah Fraser Show sent you so you can qualify for a free personalized assessment plus a bonus free 30-day supply of their gut repair product when you sign up for a customized plan. Again, that's myoptimalbody.com to request an appointment. How about getting up to 5 hours of your life back when you sign up for Hungry Root meal prep and delivery service? I'm obsessed. I've tried a lot of meal prep boxes. This is one of my favorites. In fact, I actually emailed the client to see if I can get like a year's supply. They're like, Sarah, use your own damn code. Anyway, right now, I want you to go to hungryroot.com/TSFS because you are getting 40% off your first delivery and free veggies for life. The average Hungry Root customer saves 5 hours a week. That was us. On top of that, you can pick from vegetarian, keto, meat, anything that you like. Right now, Hungry Root is offering TSFS listeners 40% off your first delivery and free veggies for life. As I mentioned, just go to hungryroot.com/TSFS to get 40% off your first delivery and get those free veggies. That's hungryroot.com/TSFS. Also, don't forget to use my link so Hungry Root knows who sent you. Yeah.
Does Monday at the office feel like a storm? Not with Microsoft Copilot. That feeling when Copilot gets everyone up to speed instantly? It's sunny again. When Copilot simplifies complex data so your teams can act, that sun's shining on a beach. And when Copilot uncovers hidden insights, you're on that beach with your people and you find buried treasure. That's Microsoft Copilot. Learn more at Microsoft.com/AI for all.
Okay, they give all kinds of additives to it. To what? When you get the Mexican cheese at the grocery store, which I like, it's
like
not
the Sargento.
Really yeah,
so it's got real cheese in it, but they add stuff for color, for flavor. And so what have those cows eaten?
Well, I would think, of course, now we know, right? They load cows up with grain, right? It's not like the old days where they just eat grass and then maybe they grained them a little with corn or like now they're giving them an antibiotic probably in that to keep them healthy. And of course, they're all with these other cows with shit. So they don't want them to get, various diseases going. So they're going to antibiotic them internally. I'd imagine more and more now it's just shit grain because it's expensive, right? They want to feed them as cheap as possible and bulk them up so they can produce as much milk and as much meat as possible. So you're basically you are loading them with hormones.
Right. So if you do want to try cheese, like if you give it up for 6 weeks and you're okay, then organic cheddar, organic grass-fed cheddar, I got to be honest with you, I'm not a cheese person. So it's easy for me to say don't eat cheese, but most of my patients are like, I love cheese. So organic and grass-fed cheese, which you can get at Whole Foods, you can get at Harris Tea. I mean, you can get at most grocery stores. You just don't want the run-of-the-mill cheese. Like it's got colorings in it. It's got, it's like eating candy with dye in it.
I always say to people, because I learned this coming out here to LA and, trying to have this second baby, right? So for like 6 months, I couldn't get pregnant, went to a nutritionist out here. He does what you do. Amazing work. Same thing. Yep. He was like, get rid of all the grains, the breads. The only bread he tells me to eat is that Ezekiel bread that you find, because I think it doesn't have gluten in it.
Right.
No dairy, just like protein, a lot of vegetables. I think I did eat tofu and some things with soy. I seem to tolerate that. Okay.
As long as the tofu is organic.
Okay.
Okay, the problem with that is soy can be an estrogen mimicker in our bodies, and it can screw with our hormones a little bit.
What do you think of all the like pea milks? Cashew milk is huge. Coconut milk. What do you think of those milks?
So the nut milks, as long as they don't have fillers and oil. So with oils, you want avocado oil for high heat cooking, olive oil, and coconut. No other oils, no safflower, sunflower, none of those oils. So as long as there's none of that in them, those are okay. But like oat milk, it's just carbs. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Uh,
if
well, and what I was saying with that is, I would imagine, what do your clients find? I found like when I did that real kind of removal of dairy and most gluten and grains and all that, the first week was rough. Like I actually woke up with jitters. Like,
oh, you're detoxing.
and
Yeah.
no sugar, no sugar. I love sugar.
Yeah. Yeah.
I actually woke up one morning, I had my coffee, and he recommends like kind of a green powder that tastes fine, but it just to kind of get some nutrients in your body. I mean, I would find myself at 9 a.m. just like jittery, So, and of course that's part of it. And he told me that, and drink a lot of water. And I was drinking. I still love dandelion tea. I swear his formula helped me get pregnant twice naturally. I have an egg quality issue because I'm 42. That's the problem.
Right,
It's not that
right.
my body can't. My body wants to be pregnant. It's
right,
getting that
right.
good egg. Why I'm
Right.
doing IVF. But I swear his recommendations, like yours, have helped me so much. And I always say to people, because people are like, oh my God, when I was doing it, they were like, I could never do that. And I'm like, once you get beyond that week and you see how freaking good you can feel, you will not go back. You'll probably relapse a couple times to cheese and bread,
Right.
but then when you feel
Right.
like shit again, compared to how you feel, you will never go back. Because I say to my husband, I'm like, I felt the best I have felt in 5 years getting rid of all that crap, eating so basic, just like an egg for breakfast and veggies or fruit. It's like,
Right.
I feel so fucking energized. Like I sleep amazing. It's unbelievable.
So I say to people, healthy feels better than food tastes.
Oh,
But I will say to you what I do. So I health coach people, but my big thing
yes.
is I do like a four appointments. The first one is an intake. Let's see what you're doing, your sleeping, your exercise, your food, like what's going on with you. I can look at people and tell if they have inflammation because I look back at myself for 47 years with glossy eyes and just it's got nothing to do with the face being full. It's in the eyes. And then I take people to the grocery store. We go to Wegmans. And I say, what do you love? Oh, I can't give up cookies or brownies. Okay. Not all gluten-free products are created equal. So like King Arthur gluten-free brownies, they have natural flavors in them, which we don't really exactly know what those are, and a couple other ingredients, but Simple Mills has clean ingredients. So you don't have to give up what you like. We just have to find alternatives. And then I talk about personal care, what you wash your clothes in, what you put on your body, makeup, skincare. Some of my clients local, I'll take to Blue Mercury. They have some good quality, clean makeup and skincare, or some I'll take to Target, and it's just fun. Like we just do, we have a great time.
Tell me, women always want to smell great. Tell me what your research has been with these products, these perfumed lotions and these perfumed laundry detergents. Tell me what your work has found.
They're toxic. They are endocrine disruptors. They'll give you migraines. They'll give you headaches. They'll make you congested. Like, it's so funny. I'll walk into like a nail salon and everybody's going, like it's the toxicity of all of these products, or the people that work at like Yankee Candle or what have you. They're all toxins. So I started out, I used essential oils just to have something. And people would always stop me and say, you smell so good. But then Michelle Pfeiffer makes a perfume that's Environmental Working Group backed. It's called Henry Rose. And it's really good. I don't wear it every day, but I have it when I want to wear some. And I've found really good one of the laundry detergents I use that I love because I've been through everything. It's called Truly Free Home. It has a lot of scent because my husband's complaint was my clothes don't smell good. It doesn't smell clean. Truly Free Home is amazing. And it makes your clothes smell really good and there's no toxins.
Oh, I love that. I think women and men don't realize how much the cleaning chemicals, laundry detergents, and to your point, the thing that I use that is still so toxic is makeup. I put it on, I use the skincare products I use. I try to do that I know are free of toxin, and my soap that I use on my body, because obviously your skin is your largest organ, so you're absorbing.
It sure is. It takes 22 seconds for anything you put on your skin to get into your cells.
I only use coconut oil on my skin with essential oil mixed in. A couple of drops of a lavender, and I just put that. And it's oily. I do it at night usually. And I buy pajamas that I don't care if they get stained, and I just put that on and I let that soak in. And then you're not putting on a smelly chemical, because I know it wreaks havoc in your body.
There's so many good makeup lines though that are clean.
Really? Tell me. I'm using Charlotte Tilbury, probably filled with chemicals.
Yes. You guys have Blue Mercury out there?
No, but I know them in the DMV, but I don't know them out here.
Okay. So Blue Mercury, maybe it's in East Coast, but it's a small Sephora. Anyway, their brand Lunaster, which I actually have a lipstick here, that is clean. Hourglass, they sell it at Ulta, they sell it at Sephora, they sell it anywhere. That's clean. I've been loving this company, RMS. It's called RMS Beauty. It's a small company and they have great like blushes and lipsticks. And that's all I wear is clean makeup.
Tell me about the typical client that comes to see you. What are they experiencing? And then I want to go back to what is in the eye, because I guarantee people are going to be going and looking in their mirrors going, wait, do I have inflammation in my eyes? Like how? But tell me first, who's your typical client?
So most of my clients are between the ages of like 34, 35 to 65. Women who, post having babies or trying to get pregnant. I'll just tell you this one story. I had a girl, I was working with a functional doctor. The two of us were working with her. I told her about the anti-inflammatory diet and she was like, no. And I said, all right, just try it for a week. Week 2, we have our call. She's like, yeah, no, I went camping this weekend. I drank, I blah, blah, blah. She calls me 3 weeks later. Okay. And she could get pregnant. She kept miscarrying. So I said, all right. She said, call me back. She said, I'm ready. Let's do this. So first week, she was great. She calls me. She said, I went camping with all our friends this weekend. And you know what I realized? I don't like any of them because I wasn't drunk and I don't like them. She went through my whole 12-week program. She now has a 3-month-old baby boy.
Melt my heart.
Yes.
Melt my heart.
So there is something to what you eat. So a lot of, women trying to get pregnant, women after they've had babies, many IVF women who don't know, and this isn't my specialty of, you're putting all these hormones in your body and how that affects your thyroid and how that affects everything. And then, perimenopausal and postmenopausal women, it's all about finding out what they like to eat and just really giving up the gluten, the dairy, and the refined sugar and the soy and showing them their options. Like people think, oh my God, that's so restrictive. No, it's not restrictive. I can show you a really good bagel. I can show you alternatives for everything you eat. Like my favorite thing is Starburst jelly beans. So what I have instead is dried mango, organic dried mango. It gives me that tart taste. So yeah. And so that's really who I see. And of course, the first thing everybody says to me is, oh, I just love food too much. I'm like, listen, bitch, so do I. We all do, right?
We do. I mean, I would say I love food less now because...
No, I don't either.
Because I just know, now I know how good I can feel when I eat these foods that are less processed. I feel so great. And nothing is better. I mean, I know you've been there. I spent years waking up feeling like garbage, you know, feeling like whether not even hungover, but like if you just eat a lot of gluten, you wake up, your fingers are swollen, you know, I hate that. I love waking up at 5:30 a.m. and feeling like I can take the world on, you know, and that my body feels good, that there's minimal aches and pains, that I can go walk. That's like the joy. So then all this food, you know, like having a hoagie and all these, you know, processed meats, all those sandwiches and all that stuff looks less and less and less appealing to me the more you go along and you eat clean. You're like, I don't want to eat that stuff anymore because I know how awful I'm going to feel after. No, I actually hate food.
I carry food with me everywhere I go. I always have,
Yeah.
and I don't bring it in here, but there's this plant-based protein bar. It's called Midday Square. Cookie dough, love it. It's got all healthy ingredients. I always have one of those. I have pumpkin seeds, nuts. I always have food with me, so I'm never in a position of, oh my God, what am I going to eat? And then I don't eat anything bad. I mean, and I'll tell you this too. Since I was 35, I've been told that I need double knee replacements. Never. It's just my personal, I don't want to do it. And I don't have pain because I take care of myself.
Wow.
And I come from a very traditional medicine family. My dad had Parkinson's. He passed away at 75. And my mom had an epidural for back pain, which she must have had MRSA or staph on her skin injected into her spinal cord, and she died a year later. And they were, go to the doctor, give me a pill, go to the doctor, give me a pill. And I just knew that I didn't want to live that way.
I know you're not a fertility, you know, nutritional specialist, but a lot of the women, because obviously I'm sharing my IVF journey, a lot of women are going through IVF. Many of my girlfriends in their late 30s, early 40s. Can you give us any tips? You know, like you said, you're pumping a lot of hormones and inflammation into your body. I can feel it. You know, I'm doing Gonal F, I'm doing Menopur. Now I just added Cetrotide, which actually suppresses. They don't want you to ovulate because they want those eggs. So a lot of things are happening in my body. Any tips you can give women going through IVF? Anything we could eat, drink, be mindful of?
So a couple things. Anti-inflammatory diet, which, you know, obviously I can help with, or I've given enough tips. People can
get started. Yeah, people can certainly
get started. Sleep. You need to sleep. You need to get a good 8 hours of sleep and move. Even if you just walk, or even if it's just like after each meal, 10 minutes after each meal. And the other thing that's really good is to, and if people aren't as flexible, lay up against the wall with your feet up at the end of the day, or even flung over your headboard. It drains your lymphatic system and it gives a signal to your brain, like, time to go to sleep. We're done. We're draining. We're going to bed.
Wow. Okay. And, you know, people need to come see you. The Wellness Whisperer, Stef, is your, that's your Instagram. And then Stef, is it Stephanie Freeman or StefFreeman.com, right? You have a website.
Yep. StefFreeman.com. It's in my bio on my Instagram. I've written 2 books. So I have.
Show us. Bring these down. People need to buy these because you are the real deal. I have loved getting your advice, talking to you, seeing what you're doing. And getting a nutritionalist makes a huge difference, especially if you are having chronic pain. You know, the guy that I saw was kind of an expert in fertility and getting women in their 40s pregnant, you know, which was hence the tea and all this stuff. And I credit him for it, you know, and he's like, don't do IVF, stick with my diet, like your egg. But I'm like, this is my window, you know, I just turned 42 and I always mix a little Eastern, Western medicine, a little of both, I think is to me the best combo. And so getting all these doctors, they're like, this is your window, Sarah. Like, this is it. Beyond 42, IVF really doesn't work. Everything diminishes. So I don't know. I'm praying I get some good eggs and then maybe I'll try on my own again because I'm still maintaining this healthy diet, or I'm just praying I get a good egg. I'll transfer that and there's my healthy baby. I think you have to survey, you know, I like his thing, but I'm like, dude, I got to try it. You know, I can't.
And you know what I love to do, or what I do? I meet people where they are.
Hey, it's Kaylee Cuoco for Priceline. Ready to go to your happy place for a happy price? Well, why didn't you say so? Just download the Priceline app right now and save up to 60% on hotels. So whether it's Cousin Kevin's Kazoo Concert in Kansas City, go Kevin, or Becky's Bachelorette Bash in Bermuda, you never have to miss a trip ever again. So download the Priceline app today. Your savings are waiting.
Go to your happy place for a happy price. Go to your happy price, Priceline.
I never tell them what to do. I've had a Peloton. Gosh, we've had a Peloton since like 2016. And one of the instructors says, I make suggestions, you make decisions. So I just support people in the decisions that they make. What I do may not be right for you, but I'm going to give you all the information I have. You sift through what you think works for you.
Because I got to go back to this. I want to know, when you can pick out people just by looking at their eyes that have inflammation, what are the signs?
So it's so hard to describe. It's just, they're tired. They look like they need a hug. I always know. And the first thing I do when I'm in person is I'll hug someone and they'll start crying. And they're like, I'm sorry, I'm crying. I'm like, no, I know what it's like to be in pain for 40 something years and no one hears you. They tell you you're crazy. And the first book I read was Jennifer Esposito, the actress.
Okay. What was
on Blue Blood? She was married to Bradley Cooper like back in the day.
Okay.
She is celiac and she kept going to doctors and they wanted to put her in a straitjacket. They told her she was nuts.
Wow.
And I read her book I think it was 2014. She had a bakery in New York City and I just like cried. We were in the car driving home. I just like cried. I mean, because that's what happens by the time people get to me. They're so sick of hearing, this is normal, you're crazy, it's anxiety. Well, of course it's anxiety. When I've been in pain for so many years, I'm anxious.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Show us your books, and then I want to ask you, you are kind enough, you also have been messing me. Life's a Journey. Life's a Journey, Are You Packed?
Are You Packed? So this is living and thriving with juvenile rheumatoid arthritis. So I wrote this in 2016, 2017. You can get them on Amazon. You can also, everything is on, it's not Linktree, but it's similar to that in my bio. You just go to my website. I have that. And then we'll talk about this. Life's a Journey. Are You Packed? This is a
well, wait, this one says Life's a Journey, Who Am I? A memoir.
Oh, I'm sorry. Life's a Journey, Who Am I? Thank you. This is a continuation. It's also, which I'm going to unveil, a huge family secret that I uncovered. So anyway, you can get my books. You can work with me. I have created 2 courses. One is the 5-day inflammation reset. It's $7. It walks you through 5 days of kicking the garbage out of your house and how to do it. And the second one is $37. It's called the Health Champions. It delves more into it. I give you like all of the food brands, personal care, like all of the brands, different ways for movement. Like I love Pilates. I touch a little bit on eating right for your blood type, all different kinds of things. So it's $37 till March 31st, March 30th.
Okay, sure. 30th? Okay.
31st. And then I'm like,
someone will basically, we have to do it to the 31st because someone's going to say, well, Steph said that. So
yes, the 31st.
Okay, now we're changing the date on the website. It's the 31st.
Yep. Then it goes up to $87. Perfect. But it's tons of information. When people purchase that one, they can become an affiliate. So if you buy it and then you give it to your friend, they make 10% back of the cost of the course.
God, I love it. Okay, everyone needs to do that. I love the work you do. It's so pivotal right now for us, to stay healthy. That is the biggest thing that you can give to your kids, your own self, your work, your family. But speaking of family, you had said that you have uncovered this family secret and you are willing to talk about it. So I'm curious to hear what you found.
Yes. So when I started delving more into this, I did 23andMe back in 2017. And in 2020, I started getting these messages from a couple people saying, we're related. How are we related? I just gave them like my mom's maiden name, her family's maiden name, all of that stuff. and I couldn't figure it out. So one woman who's who I'm related to or thought I was, messaged me and said, would you be willing to do Ancestry? Let's figure out how we're all connected. So I did Ancestry on September 20th, 2020. I was getting ready to hop on a radio show on iHeartRadio to talk about inflammation at 10:55. At 10:53, I get an email from Ancestry. Flip open my iPad. My husband is standing there and I go, Alan 2673, parent, child? So I look at my husband, I'm like, wait a minute. My daughter's name's Alana. I'm like, wait, this isn't her. My husband's like, no. I'm like, do you think I had another kid I don't know? My husband's like, you're nuts. Alan 2673 is my biological father. What? Now, I grew up with the most amazing parents. My dad and I had such a special bond that I woke up crying one day and he had a stroke. We had such a connection. So anyway, I called my brothers because I had said, you guys have to do Ancestry. So I have a brother that's going to be 68. I have a brother that's 65 and I'm 58. So we're all like, I'm like freaking out. Like, did my mom have an affair? Now I knew that this guy was a doctor because one of the people I was related to knew that he was a doctor in Hartford, Connecticut. So I'm like, was my mom raped? What did she have in it? Like, I just couldn't even.
Right. Yeah. Like, wait, no, were your parents deceased at this time?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, this was 2020. My mom died in 2010 and my dad in 2005. The interesting thing is after my dad died, when my mom would get upset, she would say, there's family secrets. You have no idea. But I did have an aunt who was murdered in 1973. So I thought like there was some secret around that. Wow. Anyway, I call my mom's best friend who's like 90 and she calls me Dolly. She's like, Dolly, I have no idea. Your mom never shared anything. Like we shared everything. I have no idea. Called another cousin. She's like, oh, well, and my maiden name is Foster. Oh, the Fosters love everyone. I'm like, okay, well, that doesn't answer a question. So I call one of my cousins on my mom's side. And I said, do you know anything about a Foster family secret? Like Bob Foster's not my biological father. She doesn't skip a beat. She goes, oh, Bob Foster's none of your biological fathers. You're all conceived through artificial insemination.
Okay. So your mom, this is like back a hot second.
1955, my brother was conceived.
By sperm donor.
Mm-hmm.
And
so
oh my God, was this guy like was he their family doctor or something? Or no,
3 different sperm donors. I'm Jewish. They're all Jewish doctors. My older brother's was a cardiologist. My other brother's was a surgeon. They have both passed away. Mine was a general practitioner at Hartford Hospital where I saw all of my doctors. I probably walked by him. I've met him.
Okay, but wait. How did your mother do this? Because there weren't like fertility clinics back then. So we don't know. We don't know if Mama Stef was like, okay, did we think that she had sex with all these? I need more detail.
No, for sure not. But here's the thing. So I talked to my sperm donor dad. He gave 2 sperm donations at Hartford Hospital because he was a resident, didn't make a lot of money. And you know how much they paid him?
Oh my God.
$50. $50.
But this would have been 1960 what?
So for my brother, it was 55. For me, it was 1965.
1965, he was a sperm donor 2 times for $50, and your mom got that sperm. And your dad, wow. Okay, so yeah.
So here's the question.
Wow.
My dad and mom met on a blind date in 52. They got engaged after 7 days. They got married in 1953. They conceived my brother in 1955. Did my dad know? My mom did have the financial means to do what she needed to do to have a kid. Did she tell him? Was she not? It was only 2 years. You're struggling. You see how many years even now with technology, like, so.
How has this affected your family? I mean, tell me. Has it
So-
upset you and your brothers a lot? I mean, it is one of those secrets. Like, are you mad at them for not telling?
No, well, I'm not. So I think it affected us all differently. Obviously, I can't speak for my siblings, but we're very close. When I get pissed, I'm like, you're only my half sibling. Like, what do I care? Like, as a joke, because that's what I do.
I love the sense of
I'm a,
humor. Yeah.
right, I'm a storyteller. So like, this is amazing for me.
Wow.
I look at it like my parents wanted a family so badly that they would go to these lengths. And I'm 7 years younger than my next sibling. So like, they really wanted to have us, and they did whatever they had to do. Did my dad know? I'm assuming, but I have no idea. So I went to the only person that I could go to, and that was a medium.
Okay, the medium. Okay, oh Lord, what'd the medium say?
So I went to two. One of them, I just didn't say anything, and she just started talking. And I've talked to mediums before, and my dad is very quiet, so he never came forward. He came right forward, and he said, listen, you are my child. Biology means nothing over here, and you were meant to be my daughter. And then I saw this could be a whole nother conversation. I saw another medium. I was on a phone call, and she's from Australia. She's actually a friend now. She didn't know me from a hole in the wall back then. And she started reading me. And then she just said, your mom wants you to know that it's her, and she wants you to write this book. And she just looked at me and she said, your mom's name begins with, and then she looks over, she goes, all right, your mom is screaming. She just wants me to tell you her name. Her name's Audrey. And that's my mom's name.
Wow. Oh my God. That's a lot. That's a lot. But I mean, I guess in a way, right? It doesn't change anything, because you really don't know your biological dad, meaning the sperm that was given. You really don't know him from Adam, really. I mean, it's your dad.
I met him once, and it kind of, it was fine. It was nice. He was lovely. He was very nice. He's married. I have two half siblings. Everybody's very nice.
Did they know about you?
Not until I got the information from Ancestry and emailed him.
Not until this damn podcast. They're out there.
But his wife did know. And I will tell you, I posted something like on Reels, and my half brother messaged me and said, oh my God, I love the reel. Now I'm going to call my dad, Alan2673. And he said, I love this. And I just messaged him back. I said, that meant a lot to me. Like, I'm not going to say names. I'm not going to tell anyone else's story but my own. But
wow.
Cool.
Wow. You're the start of a big trend, right? We're seeing this, and who knows, I mean, I'm open. I want to have another child, however that happens, through my own eggs, hopefully through natural, through egg donor. I've always been open, because I think family is so, it's so much more environmental than it is biological.
100%.
You see that, right? You see people in your life that aren't even your blood that become complete family to you, how much they mean to you. So it's like you are on the beginning of a trend, I think, of a lot of people realizing they're from sperm donor. I mean, okay, experiencing that, would you, if you could wave a magic wand and go back, because a lot of people are going through this, do you think it's better to tell your kids the truth, or do you think it matters?
Like, for me, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, I would love to be able to have a conversation with my parents and say, here's what I think. And this is just what I think in my situation. I think that, well, question one, did my dad know? Let's just say he did know.
I know.
I'm wondering if my mom thought we would all react different, and she didn't want us to look at my dad any different. My brother and sister-in-law adopted my nieces. So like, that would have been a really good time to say, hey guys, guess what? But they didn't. So I respect them.
And it was such a different generation, to them, it was probably, who knows? They probably worried what other people thought, other people in the family, other people in society. Would they treat you all different? Whereas now, right, families are being created in so many different wonderful ways. So it's so much more accepted. But in 1965, I'm sure they thought, oh, and maybe
no one will ever find out.
Right. And maybe your mom, maybe he didn't know, maybe she didn't ever want him to think he couldn't do it or something, but I have to imagine, I feel like did you ever, because a lot of people that go through these experiences, they always feel like there's something, they always have this inkling deep down. Did you ever have that?
Never. And when we started chatting, like I am intuitive. Never. And so I'm very into, I know this is a little weird, but I do think my dad, regardless, is in my soul circle. Like he is just part of me. And however he had to be that way. No, I'm the only one with red hair. My brother used to be like, oh, you're adopted. I didn't think like, oh, it's a recessive gene from both sides and no one on this side. It's just, the weird thing is that, so the Fosters, I'm not biologically related to them. That's just like weird. Like when I sit with that and I go, all my cousins I grew up with, like I'm not really related. But again, I love them. They're my cousins.
Yeah.
It was a little jarring at first, but I go into all the details in my second book. It's pretty cool.
Wow. Oh my God, Stef Freeman. I am so glad we could finally connect. This has been amazing. Everybody needs to follow this woman. Check her out. DM her with health questions. More than ever, we have to be such advocates of our health. And I think people are really waking up to that and really realizing like what's in our food and being conscientious. And, it's tough because as having kids, having a family, it's like, it is expensive. It's expensive to eat really clean and it's time consuming to have your own garden. But I hope people are beginning to go back to that because we have to really keep our longevity and use Western medicine, unfortunately, for when you really get sick, because that's what they're really great for.
100%. And just
not
a piece
preventative.
of advice for single women out there. Marry yourself someone that likes to cook. My husband loves to cook. He makes gluten-free sourdough bread. We had gluten-free sourdough pizza the other night. He loves to cook. I hate it. That's key.
Okay, I'm very jealous of you, girl. My schman promised that he was going to be the chef and all these things, and now he's like, I'm like, where are you? Where are my skills? Where did you go? I'm like, I'm going to work this hard because I need somebody, a private chef. This is crazy. I'm doing all the cooking, and I hate it. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, I know.
All right.
But you're doing all the right things to start your family. And I just have to say, there's so many people out there that do podcasts that you started from somewhere, right? And so, I've tried to connect with a lot of people. And once they get to a certain level, they're not interested, but you've got that kind heart. And, I just love you. I love to hear you. And I appreciate you giving me this opportunity to get my word out there.
Well, first, I love people. Secondly, I love people that have been very loyal to me. And third, I don't care. I'm sure you've been around very influential, famous, rich people. And I know two types of them. One, they're like isolated and assholes and snobby, and no one ends up liking them. They just have friends because they have money or influence or power. And then the others are these people that you connect with and they're uber famous. And when they talk to you, they make you feel like, oh my God, they were really interested. And that's always the person I want to be because that's genuinely who I am. And everybody has a great story to contribute and help. And I don't care who you are and how far you get in life. You have to have other amazing people that root for you and say good things for you when you're down. And that's just always how I've operated. So I'm very grateful for your loyalty. And there's many, many women like you that have just stuck with me for years. And it means a lot. So I'm happy. I'm honored to have you on. And I appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right, girl. We will see you soon. Okay? The Wellness Whisperer, Stef on Instagram and StefFreeman.com. Bye, gorgeous.